Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another great edition of Awesome Calls Trading Recap Live webinar. Let me make sure my microphones are up and running. I want to thank you for coming in here, and I want to thank a lot of new traders um, in the room that have come from all over. I think we had, I believe, 5 monthly new subscribers in the last 24 hours that came in. And I'm honored that you picked our great room to trade in and to learn from. This, Awesome Calls Trading, I called it Awesome Calls because I used to, when I was coming up through Twitter, giving calls out, I used to always somebody said that was an awesome call, or that was an awesome call. How awesome was that? And it just kind of hooked on me, and I just decided to call it, Awesome Calls. But then as time went on, there was actually a call center called Awesome Calls as well. I believe at one time it was in North Dakota or Kentucky. So it wasn't kind of registering, and there was actually an Awesome Calls on Twitter too, and they weren't using it in 2013 on their feed. So I wanted to distinguish that we were a trading chat room, a stock trading room. So that's how we became AwesomeCallsTrading.com. So. And that's who we are now, or ACT. And I got ACT because I know it would sound corny, but ACT is more or less about act as if. Act as if we are the best traders in the world. Act as if every trade's going to work. It came from a movie called The Boiler Room when Ben Affleck got up and did his speech. It was interesting, too, because the way he interviewed people, when he did an interview, it was a group interview. And a story about me is when I used to be in the mortgage business, and I was very, very good at it. I ran a very, very large company back in the day when the mortgages were almost free and 1% and 2% interest rates. And I never interviewed hardly anybody one-on-one. It would be a group interview, and I'd have 20, 30, 40 people in a big conference room, and it was kind of, I emulated that, and then the movie came out years after, and it just struck me like, wow, that was me. And that's how I interviewed people. And then I'd had a 30, maybe 7 or 8 people. I'd say, okay, you come, you come. So, and I will always believe that the companies that I built and owned, were always the best of who I was and am. So, I only want the very, very best to join us, and I feel like we're the Tiffany of chat rooms, and and I think what I come from with that is just that I believe in really educating the trader. I can't stress enough. I think every webinar I go through this, just trying to help a trader understand why a stock's going to do the way it's going to do, because the great dark side made a statement today too. He's like, a lot of times what technical traders will do in this room, they'll look at AJ's list and they'll start setting up the technical aspects of where to put the VWAPs and the EMAs and set their lines in place with their channels, and then fit within what he's looking for, because obviously AJ has a very unique knack of feeling where the stock's going to be and where it's going to stop. And today you will see about 6 or 7 different type of trades that just work almost to perfection. But I'm going to tell you why. And I believe that the more that you understand the why of the trade, the more you clear your mind of your own personal thoughts of the trade. A lot of times a day trader will, especially one coming up or trying to learn the game, a day trader won't see what I see, especially in the first couple weeks to a month. They won't see what I see. After about 2 or 3 months, it'll start to lighten up, but they're still not seeing what I see. And by the 4th or 5th month, they're starting to see it. It becomes more of a visual clearance. Like, I was listening to a webinar yesterday about a gentleman saying, oh, I had to fill the gap first. Yet 3 weeks ago, he never knew what the gap was. He didn't know where to even begin. But now when you listen to traders, especially people from our great room, they speak of, well, I've got to fill this gap first. I can't go long here. This is ridiculous. I got to wait for it to gap fill first. And I find it so fascinating and so happy that I'm hearing traders talk like that because they're understanding. A lot of people out there don't know what gaps are. They just want to hear somebody say go long and go short, or get it here and hit the button and then go long. But I don't believe in that. I believe that as a trader, you have to learn every day. Every day is like, it's like you're going to college. You're paying $6 a day. You can pay $50 a day if you want to go to college, but $6 a day to be in here. And I promise you, if you really get what we're doing, you'll make more than what at the end of 2 or 3 years of what college will give you. And salaries, you'll make probably 3, 4 times that doing trading. Because imagine 2 or 3 years of this kind of education being pushed down your throat every single day. Imagine that. Imagine a live person who's been doing it for 15, 16 years. And granted, I haven't been doing it for 30 years. I get it. I mean, I'm not a master. I'm not a grandmaster. I'm not Warren Buffett by any means. But from a day trader standpoint, at 53 years old, I'm pretty damn good. I've traded long enough to understand the concept and where the stock's going to go and the why. And every time I speak to a trader, it's the why, the why, the why. But new traders, again, as they come in, they don't see it. They challenge it. And then they challenge their mind. They talk themselves out of the trade. I'm going to talk myself out of the trade because I honestly don't see what he sees. There's just no physical way that stock's going to do what he said. And then when it does it, that's when the light bulb starts to click, and then people start to think, wait a minute, okay, he's done it about 150 times in my face. Maybe I should listen to the next one. And that's when I start gaining your trust. It takes time. Like I just walk in a room, for instance, and I'm looking at ZGNX, and a couple of people wanted to go long at the 40 level. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like the stock's moving towards 41, 42 before the close. This should have been our #1 pick in the room, but I really liked it, and I was playing it. I really want you to read the headline. I think that the trade is in the headline, and I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach the traders in here, of course, and you moderators that run other rooms, that own other rooms. I know you're listening to this. This is really essential for you because I think you were kind of lost yourself in your room how to play it, and you really needed someone like AJ to direct you so you could feel important in your room. And I get it, because if they found out that you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, they'd be all in here, which is kind of what they're doing anyway, slowly. Anyway, I do want to give you, we're going to start with ZGENX, okay? I want you to read the headline. Let's start with the headline. I really do. And then I think it's essential to understanding how to trade the stock. When I came in this morning, I saw the stock gapping down. I believe it was, 15 points, 18 points. And the first thing in my head was, I read the first part of it, of the headline, and it said, down on refusal to file a letter to the FDA. Okay. I want you to take a moment and take a deep breath. All right. All right. And I just want you to look at that headline again. Okay. And I want you to read through the headline. Okay. I want you to become, just, I'm trying to find the actual headline where it started. Let's see. I'm going to read it to you. He refused to fully review seizure. I mean, there's every wire has so many different headlines. Okay, but we started this morning, obviously, with our basic headline here. So, and I also want to show you the Mitsu comments, which is right here. Okay. First of all, I want you to read the headline. ZNTech refused to file. It's a delay in. It basically refused to file this morning, actually yesterday. I'll read it exactly word for word how it came out. Receives refusal to file letter from FDA for new drug application treating seizures associated with their syndrome. Okay. First and foremost, okay, when you're a trader, who I am, you have to be able to trade everything. Bio, FDA, offerings, IPOs, big cap, small cap, low cap, penny stock. You see how versatile we are in here? There's no limit, in here. Okay, so my job, and I think I spoil a lot of traders in here because they don't realize just how great of a bio trader I am. Reading phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, FDA approval, phase half B, AB, BC. I mean, the way I can just, breakthrough therapy, primary endpoint met. I mean, things that you've never heard of before. Yet when you're in here, you're just like, this guy's all over the place when it comes to FDA and bios. Because when you do this for 16 years, it really it becomes second nature. It's like reading a book that you've read 100 times. You already know what they're going to say in the next words. Exactly. It's just being repetition, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Okay, so ZGNX refuses to file a delay. Okay, they refuse. So in that concept, if they refuse, they also can change their attitude and give them what they need. The reason why they're refusing to give what the FDA wants is simply the fact that they don't have enough information to give to the FDA at this point in time. It's the way it came out was like basically, fuck you, FDA. No, 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 no. You can't think like that. You have to think the opposite. Listen, we got an issue. We're not ready. So yes, at this point in time, I can't do it. I can't give you the letter. So the FDA calls it, you refuse to give us the letter. Okay? If that's what you want to say, it's a little harsh. Okay. Now I'm a day trader. It's down 15, 16 points. I know the refusal can get fixed. What's the other thing I'm looking for? I want to see analyst comments of people that I respect because I interpret this as this should be bought up as a buying opportunity. That is the first thing. When I saw the word refusal, I thought, well, that's fine. They'll probably fix that, and that stock. So we're buying today at a discount. But I needed to see if an analyst thought like that. Now, this is what I thought in the first 10 seconds when I saw the headline. In the first 10 seconds, refusal for on delay. Okay, so that means they're going to fix that. So the stock is probably down 15. We could probably get it up to get 5, 6 points on the stock, go up long. Do not short the stock. That's exactly what I thought in 10 seconds. Now, I needed to find what the analysts were thinking. So the very first thing I did, I started clicking analysts, and the one I came across was Mitsu. And I want you to read or hear this. Just listen. And I want you to listen to it I want you to listen to it as if I just told you what I thought. Now I want you to see how an analyst puts it out, okay? And see if it's the same thing that I thought. And you see, that's when you can determine, like, the guy you trade with really knows his shit. Really, really has in tune with the market. Now listen, you already know what I felt. Now let's see what an analyst feels. Okay? All right. Mitsu reiterates a buy rating, lowers the price from 71 to 58, which makes sense. After the company received a refusal to file letter from the FDA yesterday relating their product. The analyst stated the key issue was that certain non-clinical studies were not submitted as part of the NDA. We spoke to management. They indicated they did not believe such studies were necessary based on their interactions to complete with the FDA. The key issue now revolves around whether or not ZGNX will need to complete the additional studies, which could take 6 to 9 months for conservative purposes. We assume as analysts at Mitsu, additional studies will be required and delayed product launch. With these assumptions that we have made a decision on, our price target will be 58 for now. For the analyst ratings, it's such a click here, right there. So one of the things that they also made it very clear in their headline was a delay in this with ZZN is making it a buying opportunity. I just created a trade. A really good trade where everyone could pay their bills, their mortgage, their rent, their car payments, their insurance. I made the decision right then and there that this stock is a long out of the gate. Okay, and so I had to put it in writing and start taking positions. Gapping down 15. I would be a buyer here on the weakness. I'd be buying 45 calls. See, most analysts cut the price target but still believe the stock and the company admits you stated a buy on the weakness today. If that's all it at all pulls it, if it pulls hard at all to 35, add to your position. So we started in at around 37.50, 37.60, 37.81. Everyone had the same opportunity, and I told them if it did pull, don't panic. 35 will be the bottom. It'll curl up, but most likely the stock will start to see the 40s and probably 42. I even suggested to buy the 45 calls. Okay. Now I want you to see the trade. If you had come in here for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your time, I want you to see the entry at the open. You see the 37.40, 37.60? I got in at 37.81, 82 or something like that. And I willed this stock to $40 a share before I went on break. And when I mean will it, I talked to the stock. I talked to it. I talked to it on the screen. I kept getting traders back in it. I showed them the flag. I showed them the base. I showed them everything. This is going to 40 minimum today. I do think the stock will, and the reason is because I always look where it probably pulled and stopped. Okay, so there's the pull. So I already know I'm going to get that. I'm going to get my 40 here and then get that. And then after I break that, I could probably get to 42, and that's where it'll die. But I called 45 calls, so if you bought them at 37, you can make some serious money. Okay? Now, if you had taken the call, 500 shares, 250 shares, 1,000 shares, 600 shares, 800 shares, and you just listen to me and stop thinking for yourself, okay? This is what you hired me for. Don't fight me. Don't make excuses. Don't keep making excuses day in and day out, day in and day out. I should have, I could have, I wished I could have, I didn't see it, I didn't know. No, enough. Enough. You know, enough fucking up. Just take the call, do 300 shares, and let it ride out 2 points, and you make $600. And you can literally have been done 39.40. It hit at 39.50 pretty much. That's a 2-point trade in less than 7 minutes of work. Everyone could have been done. Everybody had the same opportunity. Every trader, every moderator, every chat room. All you had to do was buy 250 shares and make $500, and no one would be red today. No one. You didn't have to trade a penny stock. You didn't have to chase any other plays. You didn't have to do nothing. The stock was right here. And it was one of the most talked about stocks. But the problem is with people out there on Twitterville and FinTwits, they don't know how to trade it. They need a room like this where they can walk in and their main guy, he's all over it. I know how to trade it. Do you know how to trade it, AJ? I know how to trade it. It's done. Long. Add-on dips to 35. What's up? You can't see it? I can see it. And now the stock is heading towards 41. This is trading. This is how you make a living in day trading world. All right? I'm going to give you another one. Okay? Let's talk about FOS. Now, again, you're looking at me like you trade BIOS like you trade a Facebook or a Boeing. Yeah. Or like I trade a small cap stock. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Because I read through the news. Now, FOS, why is FOS gapping up? Well, let's find out first. Why is FOS, why is phase or FOS or whatever you want to call it gapping up? All right. FOS receives FDA breakthrough therapy designation. Okay. On a phase 1 trial. Really? Really? Just so you understand clearly, when you get a gap up like that and volume that's usually $1, $2, $3 above its normal price, they're going to do an ATM. They need money on phase 1. It's really important. So the market makers will try to drag it out. Even though the stock should sell off, they'll drag it out. But there's still a nice short in between it because it can't sustain it. Okay? And so FOS was a perfect setup. Anytime I see the word breakthrough therapy, I look immediately at the news and then I start to figure out, okay, what type of breakthrough therapy? Because you have to know the type. All right? And this is what makes the room so talented. This is why people pay. We have to look, right? So here it is. Here's all the headline, right? And here's the breakthrough therapy. And then you have to find what type of breakthrough therapy is it for. And once you identify it's for phase 1, That told me right there, this is a short. Told me right then and there, this is a short. All right, phase one. So now, after reading the headline, now how do I trade the stock? Okay, so I tell the traders in the room, right here, phase number 2, I would be short, look for a pop at the open, 16.25 to 17, scale in short, and take it to 14 and under. And that's your trade. That's it. In my opinion, this is nothing more than a pop and fade the news, look for some topping, and then fade it back to 14. And that's all I want you to do. So here's the pop at the open. They did it several times to keep it up there. 16.25 to 17, which is about 16.70 average. You could see it topped off at pretty much 16.60, 16.17 average, and started to come down. 14.61. And I'm assuming for the end of the day, we hit that 14 spot. See how that worked out? I understood the news. I dissected it. I broke it down, and I made it make sense. So you as a trader can short the stock. I want you to look at another one. LNN. This was a beauty. This was a beauty today. Unfortunately, your chat room will never trade LNN, and they probably didn't. And again, as I say, day in and day out, you're very limited where you trade because that particular owner or trader does not know enough. They're very limited. So they'll trade the Nvidias, the Amazons, their options, their Rokus, their MUs. They won't go outside that box. But in here, we're in the box. We are the box. So we're just pulling anything out of the box that we want. All right. And then we trade outside the box. We're in and out. It doesn't matter for us. So Lynn closed at $94 a share yesterday, but it opened up at 80. Okay. First thing you have to do is say why. Well, you have to do the numbers. All right. Well, it looks like they did earnings, right? So then you go to your scans and you have to read it. Oh, you don't like to read? That's your job? That's why I pay you $6? Okay, then I'll read it. And it says to me, basically, as I'm reading it, that they were 53 cents worse. They missed on revs, and they've had some widespread flooding in the farmer sentiment world. A lot of flooding, so crops are down. So right now, this is going to got it. So this kind of got hurt a little bit. But when you read it, you have to finish reading it. And one of the things that they said was, we don't expect to see meaningful improvement in farmer sentiment while the U.S.-China trade uncertainty persists. However, we do expect market conditions in Brazil to continue improving and international project markets remain active. Okay, so it's not all bad in blue gloom, right? It's not all horrible. So how does a day trader, a professional day trader, look at that stock? An AJ will look at that as a buying opportunity. Buy the weakness. Okay, and a short covering squeeze at the open. Because why? We have shorts in here that have built up positions in the last 5 days right up here. And they're going to want to cover. So they're going to squeeze right out of the gate. My job is to make sure that the traders understand that it's not going to fully gap fill, but make it very clear to the trader where the stock is going to stop and what to expect out of the gate. What that means is, if I expect 5 points out of the gate and you buy 200 shares, guess what? You make $1,000 in less than 10 minutes of work. Do you understand that? So what I have to do is not only do I take a position in the stock and let the chat room know immediately my entry, but I also have to put it in writing before the market even opens. And I tell them, I would buy the stock here at 80.81 with room to add on any pullback. If it yanks at 75, don't panic. The stock will rebound. I expect the stock to hit $87. Okay, so if I buy right now at 81, you're telling me right now I'm going to get at least 85 to 87. I'm going to make 4 to 5 points. That is correct. Or more. That is correct. You have to trust. You got to trust me. Okay. Okay. I'll do it. I'll buy 200 shares at 81, but prove me wrong. Prove me how great you are. Okay? All right. Let's do it together. Are you ready? So, ding, 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 ding. You buy it here at 81, right? And guess what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It went all the way to 87, almost touched. It actually touched 88 a share. See it? I had already predicted that stock would go there. All you had to do was buy 100 shares at 8,000 buying power and make 500 bucks. Again, everyone had the same opportunity. Everyone could have went long at 100 shares. Everyone could have bought 50 shares. Everyone could have bought 4 and got 4 points on the trade. Okay? The most important thing is you have to understand where the stock is going and the why. Why is it going to pop at this level? Okay? Why are you so fucking accurate? What makes you so different? I study. My success is built on my studying, you know? And every day I'm in here, I just get better and better and better. And what that means is I'm more accurate with the calls, which means you make more money. And remember now, I'm judged every day. Do you understand that? If a trader has a bad day, I get fired. It doesn't matter if I had 18 beautiful days with them, but if I have one bad day, I'm fucked. I get thrown, I get tossed to the curb, you know? And it's sad. It really is, but it's the truth. So I have to be on my top of my game every single day. I have to provide the very best, most accurate calls out there. And that's what I do. You know, so this was just one of them. I'm going to give you another one. This is called ZS. Now, this one was a combination between myself and Fire Trader. Okay. Now, ZS was, again, we have to look for where it closed and where it opened. So you have to go 1 day, 1 minute, right? So now we're gapping up. We closed at 63 and we're gapping up to 64.81. So it's got my attention, right? Up here. So I got a gap up. All right. So I already know I want to make that money on the gap fill, but I want to know why is it up. So again, you have to go to yourself. Why? You know, if you look at people's scams, and I want to just show you this as just a rough thing here. Okay, I'm going to show what's his name? Noel, is it Noel? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. He always puts these out in the morning for everyone, and I'm sure all of you have these. But you see this? You see how these gap ups and percentages? All right, but again, it's great information, but in all of this and all of this on the gap downs and gap ups, you don't know why. You have no clue why they're even up or down. So you have to be in a room where the guy that runs it does the homework and really knows the why. Okay? Really knows the why. All right, so we go over here and we go back, and so we're looking and we're going, okay, what's the why? So we got to go over and we go over to and we punch up on the scans, and my scans are briefing and news watch, as everyone knows. And I'm looking and it says ZS, what was it? Oh, it was a Credit Suisse upgrade. That's right. This was a Credit Suisse upgrade, I believe, correct? Yes, Credit Suisse upgraded from 55 to 75. Now that's very significant in the day trading world. So that's going to get, now in my head, now this is, again, the difference between me and any other trader in the world. The minute I see it closed at 63.47 yesterday, it's got 55 to 75. My mind already tells me that's a $66 stock. Don't ask me. That's where the stock's going to go. About 66 bucks, 65 to 60, and that's it. It's not going to go anymore. Just because they upped it to 55 to 75 doesn't mean it's going to jump 20. No, no, no. It's only going to go up 1.5 to 2. So how do you trade it? Well, you're gapping up. So, and the market's down 100. So I want it to pull to 64 and under, bottom curl it, go long, and take it to 65 to 66. So it tells the trader they can short the stock, take it to 64, wherever the stock is. So they'll make 50 cents to $1 on the pull. Once they bottom out at 64, they can go long and take it to 65, 66. So a trader says, okay, well, that means I make a point to 2 points on this trade. That's correct. Let it gap fill a bit and go long. Okay. So here we go. Ding, 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 ding. We know why it's gapped up now. We got to wait for the pullback. Now, what made this really special is Fire Trader had this on his radar too, and he went long down here live in front of everyone at around 63.60, 63.70. He nailed this trade. And from there, he just ran it up. And we just, what? And where did I say it would top off? 65 to 66. And look where it hit, 65, 61. So gave everyone, every trader, the ability to make money. 100, 200, 300, 400 shares. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You see how beautiful that was? Teamwork. Understanding where the trade will go and why. Right? Then we had another one today. This one was alerted from somebody in the chat room, AJRD. And I bring in this up because it's really, really important. AJRD. Hold on. So just ask me a question. Hold on. AJ, what do you have? It's called stock company phase 2 started, and I don't have to. Yeah, I won't answer. Okay. AJRD. Now, why is this on here? Why are we talking about this? Well, we have some really great short sellers out there. Some of the best group out there, and I follow a lot of them, as you can see on my Twitter. If you look at my following, very limited. But we have a certain group of short sellers out there. We've got that I encourage you to follow because they are newsworthy. We have Aurelius. We have, where is it? Glass House, Spruce, well known. Going down, Citron, Kurzweil, Prescience. Okay, you get my drift? So I follow the top guys that can really move stocks when they decide to take a short position. So today, Spruce decided that they wanted a short, and they're calling for a short, and they've been talking about it all day on AJRD. The problem is even though they might have a price target of $10, $20, and they might have all these reports out, it doesn't matter. To me, it's a long. You have to long the stock. So the first alert I gave in the room was, don't short the stock. Do not short the stock. Do not short the stock. Long it. And what that does is, well, Spruce said, yes, I know, I respect Spruce. I know it's great, but you can't. And I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up as to why. Right? So you mods in the rooms that run rooms that are stupid because you only trade in a couple of years, pull up at least a 10-day. You see how the stock was sitting up here? So what a lot of times I like to look at is the last 10 days. And I see that they have already built positions at 34 and 35 areas way before the alert came out. So by alerting the short, it allows a nice pull to occur, which allows, I believe, a lot of short sellers to cover their positions and allow it to actually gap fill. So you will find me on a Citron or a Spruce or any of them. I will look very carefully and make the decision long or short. And this one was a long. And if you would have shorted against me, okay, you would have been fucked. All right, because you don't get it. You don't get it. You see, this is why 12 chat rooms have come from this room. Okay, because they're being fucking taught by the professor, not by a fucking student. I'm not a mentor. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm a professor. All right? I'm the gold. So people come in here, they get trained, and then they run rooms. That's what they do. Except you realize after 3-4 months, like, what the fuck? You guys are so stupid over here. Why didn't you know that? Why do you know that? And you know why? They haven't been around the block long enough. There's so many scenarios that come and go. There's so many different things out there. You can't learn it all. It takes years and years and patience and mistakes and losing to get to this level. So do not short the stock. Right? You could short it tomorrow. I don't give a shit. You could buy 30 puts for all I give a fuck. But right now, today, as a day trader, you want to get paid, you want to pay your bills, huh? You go long the stock and don't argue with me. All right? And you see how I said it with gap fill? Pretty much to a tillion, almost 33.80 already. That's a 3-point trade because somebody said go long. Okay, give me another one. CCNI. Now this was really unique. I haven't done one of these in a while, and the reason why it was unique for me is the way it was worded in the headline. I'm going to read it to you. Okay. So first of all, we got a gap up. That's the first thing you have to notice. So you're gapping from $4 to $6. Why? Why are we up at 6? Why? Again, why? Well, let's figure it out. So we go to the why. Okay. So we want to go here and go like this, CCNI. So I'm looking and I'm going, okay. Whew, we got a lot of headlines here. So which one do I pick? Okay, so we have a headline here. Has entered into an all-stock merger deal with HireQuest, a company that operates the Trojan Labor, a privately held provider. The shares surged 31%. I'm looking at this. The connection with the deal, Command Center plans to start a self... Okay, there it is. There's a headline. That's what I read. You see it? You see how it told me right there. Command Center plans to start a self-tender offer. Okay, you're done. You fucking gave it away. You see that? You just fucked up your own headline. Right? Right when I just saw plans. Boom, short. Don't argue. Take it down to 5 and under and go long. That's it. That's your trade. How do you know that? Because it's not done in stone yet. They planned. Right? Don't you plan to go to dinner tonight? Do you want to go plan on eating lunch later? Do you want to go? I'm going to go plan on hiking. Okay? Planned. Right? Plan is short. So if you can get shares, it was our number one pick this morning to short. You want to see it? Right there. CC&I. I'd sell this to 5 and under, bottom curl it, go long. That's it. If it hits 475 bottom, great, add to it. But 5 and under, pulls hard at the open, go long. So in other words, short the stock to 5 and under. That's it. So if you look, here's the 6 topping, right? And I said 5 and under. Take a look. Ding, 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 ding. From pre-market on, just dumped to what? 5 and under. 5 and under. And then it popped. 80 cents. You see that? 5 and under. I have to give it value. All right, but I have to dump it first because the headline was so stupid. If he or she had not put that word plan in there, I would have longed the stock to 7.5. They would have had my blessing. But because they did it and they worded it the way they did, they fucked up their own headline. And so if you're listening to me, gotta be careful with your headlines. You don't want a guy like me reading right through them because I will fuck up your stock. Simple as that. I will tell it to go down, even though you want it to go up. You got to plan your headlines. Do them the right way. All right? And then I'm going to give you, finish out with one more. We got to finish with Tesla. Now, I love Tesla. I do. I love Tesla. It's an easy stock for me to read. And today, I've traded almost every day lately because it's just been very volatile. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, man, this is gapping down again. So you know what I did? I didn't tell anybody to really go long the stock. I did opposite. You know what I wrote? I said, I was looking at the gap down. I'm like, shit, we're gapping down about 2-3 points. You know what I want? I'm looking at 271 here, 271.75. I'm like, You know what? I want it to pull at the open. I want it to just tank to 270 and then go long. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, I want 270 and under. So I want you to see what I wrote on Tesla. See? Tesla. I'd prefer a sell-off. I wrote it right there. Right there. To 270 area. And then pop it back to 275. You literally you ever gone to IKEA and you get a chair and you have to build the puzzle? They give you the directions and you build it with this and that, and then this screw goes here and this goes here and this goes here, right? I'm giving you the screws to build the chair so you could sit on it. Okay? So I said the stock's gonna pull. I didn't say normally AJ likes to pop these things. No. Not today. Not today. 270 pull, 275 top. You want to see the stock? Better sit your ass down. All right? 270 pull, 275 pop. 275. You want to fuck with me or do you want to trade with me? You make the choice. Okay? You either fuck with me or trade with me. If you trade with me, you make a living. You fuck with me, you won't last here less than 5 minutes. That's trading. Okay? So I gave you 7 type of trades that you could have made money on. 7 type of trades. All right? Good winners there. All right. So that is our webinar for today. I do want to just go over one last thing on our great Discord. We are going to start throwing people out of the room. I gave instructions to the top guys in there that run the room, especially to the owner, Darkside. He has my blessing, and if you as a listen, this Discord is a lot of work to first of all to put together and to monitor and to be active. Okay, it takes a lot out of like somebody like Darkside and then Janny and the Great Fire and these mods that go in there. It's a gift for you. It's a gift for you. But if you can't give us a Twitter feed or something to interact with you to find out who you are and how we can help you, and you can't contribute to the room, we're going to go ahead and let you go. I'd rather have quality versus quantity. I'd rather have less people, but more people talking. The whole thing is for people to engage. And I can't stress it enough because what I'm going to be looking at, I can get 2,000, 3,000 people in here, but it means nothing to me. I want the online interaction between the traders. This is how I'm going to judge this room. I don't see it. He's just going to lay out 500 people. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Get them out. I don't want you in the room. You should be happy to be in the room and be able to interact with professional day traders or traders that are trading in our room, that are trying to help you. That is the whole point, to communicate. If you can't give us the courtesy to communicate, get the fuck out. Okay? I don't need you. You're just a number. I don't want you to be a number. And we will probably do some, maybe every week, maybe a little special for you. If you give us your email and you give us a Twitter feed or whatever, especially if you give us the email people, I don't do free days. Y'all know that. I don't work for free for anyone, but I might do a $10 day. Yeah, just because you're in there. Because you're already showing me, hey, I like this room. So I want everyone in our chat room to know that, encourage people to go in there, give their email address, and when the time is right, Darkside will announce, Jenny will announce, and I'll give you a link. And you can come in the room for $10 for one day to watch how we do. But you need to interact. Okay? You need to interact. And also don't forget to always look at our YouTube channel at Awesomecalls Trading. And here they are. Every day they're posted around 2:15, 2 o'clock. All right. That concludes our webinar for today. I did take a little bit of time. It is 45 minutes, but it is imperative that you learn everything you can every day. And yes, could I have sold this on the market for $1,000? Probably so. But why? I want to earn your business. I want you to respect me. I want you to come in and make money with me. Okay? And that's why we do it. I want to thank you for joining us today, and I will see you tomorrow.